So I got a 2007 Toyota Yaris with a muffler that completely rusted off. Now, this was fixed once before, and it was done on a bit of a spare of the moment, or more like an emergency repair, where they switch under. But they pretty much took a piece of an old exhaust. See if I can see this here. Piece of an old exhaust and welded it to the original muffler. Because the engineers were very smart, financially speaking, for the company, not for the consumer, but they decided that they were going to have this entire exhaust in one solid piece with no joints whatsoever, all the way up to the manifold of the engine. Of course, they like to make a $1,500 sale every time that they can, but $1,500 is just a little bit too rich for most people, so this had to do. Now, a couple of years later, it fell off, and you can see, I mean, there's pretty big holes in that. So what I'm planning to do is take one of those Canadian Tire flanges, like $6 or whatever, and cut it in half. You can see this here is the male part and the female part, and this goes in here. So instead of buying two, I'm just going to cut it in half. I'm going to weld the female part to the old exhaust. Let's see if I can shine that light a little better. I'm going to weld the female part to the old exhaust pipe right there. I'm going to weld the male part right on here, and then use one of those clamps, a muffler clamps, to tie them all together. So that should fix the exhaust issue, and it will also allow the muffler part to be, replaced later on if it decided to rust. So we'll see how it goes. So what I'm going to use is one of those pipe expanders. Like this, and as you tighten them, these pieces, they expand and squish it out, because this part here is pretty bent up. So I'm going to take this suspender off, a little rubber suspender. There's another one over here, so I can't see it very well. Take the light. There's the other one. That way I can drop this exhaust down just a little bit more. Now, these are pretty tight, so the trick that I found that works quite well actually is to take some WD-40 and spray it in here, and then use a crowbar and get in between the back and there, see if you can take that out. Just going to set up the camera and see if that'll do anything. There we go. And the exhaust pipe now sit all the way on the crossbar here. Okay, so what I did is I measured from the end and made a mark over here at 4 inches, just because I'll be cutting stuff off and I'll need a reference point as to how far back it'll be. So I think I'm going to cut it off here at 2 inches. There's still a tiny little hole here. but I'm going to hope to be able to weld past that, weld all the way around, weld a flange about this long, and then weld the opposite flange to, or pipe, I guess, to the muffler, and then I'll be able to just stick it in, put the clamp around it, and tighten it down. We'll see how that goes. What I did there is fill in. There's a gap between the original piece and the one that they had welded on that fell off, and so it was really hard to find some sort of a solid piece of metal to weld it to. So I just filled it in. I'm going to grind it down. That should give me a good surface to weld the new piece to. So back under here, because I expanded this, it fits perfectly on the inside of the female part of this adapter. Slide this on. Let's see how well this piece fits. It's going to be suspended somewhere in here. Off center by, holy cow, by about 4 inches. So once I had put it all together to this point, I realized that I was off by about 2.5 inches. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to move the muffler over because of the trunk. So I thought about all sorts of different options, and what I ended up figuring out is that if I can weld the muffler adapter to the muffler and then slide it over, I should be able to make it work. When they had put the original piece down, they had rotated it a little bit too much. So what I might be able to do is, instead of having it off center, I can swing this over and bring it in line, but then I've got quite a gap, so I'm going to have to draw the angle and cut it off at an angle there.